Hi there and welcome to Nostalgia Hit. In today's video we look back at the 1970s television series Kojak. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and notification bell for regular videos. And a like on the video would be awesome as it really helps the channel. Kojak was an American action crime drama starring Telly Savalas as the main character, a tough and honest to the core New York City detective named Lieutenant Theodore Kojak. The series aired for 5 seasons on CBS, from 1973 to 1978 for a total of 118 episodes. The show was created by Abby Mann, an Academy Award-winning film writer and producer best known for his work on controversial subjects and social drama. Universal Television approached Mann to do a story based on the 1963 Wiley Hoffert murders, the brutal rape and murder of 2 young professional women named Janice Wiley and Emily Hoffert in their apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Owing to inept and corrupt police work and the prevalent casual attitude toward suspects' civil rights, the crimes in the Wiley Hoffert case were pinned on a young African-American man named George Whitmore Jr., a 19-year-old day laborer who had been arrested on a separate assault charge. After illegally obtaining a confession, the police had the suspect all but convicted until a second investigation by a different team of detectives exonerated the suspect and identified the real killer, a 22-year-old burglar named Richard Robles, who was convicted in 1965 and sentenced to life in prison. Mann developed the Screen Project as a suspenseful and gritty police procedural, but with an underlying focus on institutionalized prejudice and the civil rights of suspects and witnesses. The result was a 1973 made-for-TV movie called The Marcus Nelson Murders. This is where we get our first introduction to Savalas as Detective Theo Kojak. The film served as a pilot for the television series. Kojak himself was a combined character, based on a number of detectives, lawyers, and reporters who were involved in the Wiley Hoffert murder case. The television series is set in the New York City Police Department's 11th precinct and revolved around the efforts of the tough and incorruptible Lieutenant Theodopolus Kojak, a bald, debonair, New York City policeman who was fond of lollipops and of using the catchphrases "Who loves ya baby?" and "Coochie coo." Kojak displayed a dark, cynical wit and was stubborn and tenacious in his investigation of crime and wasn't afraid to bend the rules if it brought a criminal to justice. In the context of the script, Kojak's was seen as classic squad room humor, laced with fantastic one-liners. Savalas described Kojak as a basically honest character, tough but with feelings. The kind of guy who might kick a hooker in the tail if he had to, but they'd understand each other, because maybe they grew up on the same kind of block. Kojak's Greek-American heritage, shared by actor Savalas, featured prominently in the series. As he liked to say, everybody should have a little Greek in them. If you are enjoying the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you. Also, at the end of the video we'll let you know 3 incredible facts about Savalas and the show. Now back to Kojak. In the early episodes of the series, Kojak is often seen smoking cigarettes, cigarillos, and cigars. To cut down on his own habit, Kojak began using lollipops as a substitute. The lollipop made its debut in the Season 1 episode Dark Sunday, broadcast on December 12, 1973. Kojak lights a cigarette as he begins questioning a witness, but thinks better of it and sticks a lollipop, specifically a Tootsie Pop, in his mouth instead. Later in the episode, Kevin Dobson's character Crocker asks about the lollipop and Kojak replies, "I'm looking to close the generation gap." Although Kojak continued to smoke, as he was frequently seen lighting a cigarillo, the lollipop eventually became his identifying characteristic. In fact, when the series debuted a new opening montage in Season 5, Kojak is seen both lighting a cigarillo and popping a lollipop into his mouth. In the squad room, Kojak's former partner-turned-supervisor was Captain Frank McNeil, played by Dan Frazer, a nervous boss who never seemed to know what was really happening. Later in the series, McNeil was promoted to Chief of Detectives in Manhattan. Kojak is the commander of the Manhattan South Precinct's detective squad. His squad includes one of his favorite employees, a young trusted plainclothes officer named Detective Bobby Crocker, played by Kevin Dobson. The on-screen chemistry of Savalas and Dobson was a huge success story of 1970s television. Detective Stavros was played by Telly's younger real-life brother George Savalas, a sensitive, wild-haired, quiet, comedic foil to Kojak's streetwise humor in an otherwise dark dramatic TV series. Also part of the squad were Detective Percy Saperstein, played by Scotsman Mark Russell, and Detective Lionel Rizzo, played by Vince Conti, who in real life quit acting and went on to become a professional photographer. Other characters who featured to a lesser extent were Detective Gil Weaver, played by Roger Robinson. Robinson also featured in the TV movie The Marcus Nelson Murders, which led to a recurring role on Kojak. Actor Boris Silver played Prince. Nick Dennis played Uncle Constantine, and Daryl Zwirling played the part of Dr. Agajanian, the medical examiner. Although the show primarily focused on Kojak's police work, it occasionally veered into other areas of the characters' lives, such as the first season episode Knockover, which included a subplot involving Kojak romancing a much younger female police officer. In 1976, crime writer Joe Gores received an Edgar Award from the Mystery Writers of America for Best Episode in a TV Series Teleplay for the third season episode No Immunity for Murder, where a bookkeeper is killed, apparently by a prostitute and her partner, but Kojak begins to suspect that something isn't right. As he investigates, he finds that federal authorities are hampering his efforts and apparently protecting the wealthy businessman he suspects of involvement. In 1978, after 5 seasons, the show was canceled due to falling ratings. Savalas was unhappy about the show's demise, but reruns of Kojak became successful in syndication and on television. 7 years after the series ended, Savalas reprised the role in 2 CBS TV movies where his character was promoted to the rank of captain and later inspector. The Belarus File in 1985, an adaptation of the John Loftus book The Belarus Secret and the Price of Justice in 1987, based on Dorothy Unak's novel The Investigation. Interestingly, Kojak was not a character in either book. Telly Savalas and Dan Frazer are the only cast members to appear in every episode of the original series. Kevin Dobson appeared in all but 2 episodes, and George Savalas appeared in all but 3. Stars who have appeared on Kojak over the years include Christopher Walken, Harvey Keitel, James Woods, Richard Gere, and Joan Van Ark, just to name a few. Let us leave you with 3 interesting facts. Fact 1. Telly Savalas was 51 years old when the show started. Fact 2. Billy Goldenberg, who scored the first Kojak theme, had lyrics written by Bill Dyer. The song, entitled We'll Make It This Time, was performed by Sammy Davis Jr. on his 1976 album The Song and Dance Man. Fact 3. Telly Savalas was Jennifer Aniston's godfather. The Friends actress father, John Aniston, was born Giannis Anastasakis and was a close friend of Savalas. Why not drop a comment below about your favorite episode or character from the series? Thanks for watching Nostalgia Hit. Please remember to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, as it really helps the channel. Why not watch another video listed on the screen now? Until next time.